Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cultural Awareness, the podcast that allows you to travel across the world. All of this from the backseat of your car, the comfort of your home, or maybe your neighbor house. Who knows? Wherever you are, welcome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm your host, Big Steph. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome. Today, I'm very, very super pumped. Why? Because we have a guest on the show. Yep, you heard me right. A guest. First time in history, right? Because we haven't had a guest. Usually, it's just me doing all the talking and everything. So, I kind of brought a friend of mine, an ex-teammate of mine from the University of Colorado. See you, Buff. Hey. Scoberv. But anyway, so yeah, his name is Evan Harrington. We played in Colorado together. Then he went on to doing multiple big things. So I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to bring him in to hear some insight as far as success is concerned, as far as what happened after you are done playing football, and also a little bit about culture, talk to him like what is it like to live in a different culture, right? Because after he got done in high school, he went to, what am I saying? After he got done at the University of Colorado, he went to Europe, he played for multiple countries. So you will get a chance to hear all about that in this podcast interview. So this is a first. And because it's a first, I think we will just first go ahead and, get everything out of the way first so you can take time, sit back and relax and hear the whole interview on how he approached life. And right now, he's the assistant director of player development with the Washington football, so yeah, he's working his way up there to the top, and it would be a good, not incentive, but it would be a good insight, So for us, standing on the outside and see a little bit how football operation is done and things like that. So without no further ado, we will get everything out of the way. So today we will start with with the quote of the day. So today, because of the interview, there won't be any story of the day, but we will start with the quote of the day.
Yo, boss, where is the commercial?
We ain't got none. We got to work harder. So since we don't have no commercial and we gotta work harder, the quote of the day goes out to everybody that is out here hustling, okay? If you're out there working your butt off, whether it's training, whether it's real life job, like, I don't know, carpenter, business owner, entrepreneur, and you got to wake up every morning and grind. This quote goes out to you, right? So this quote is for all my brothers and sisters that are out here trying to get it, And the quote of the day obviously is because one of my teammates who actually used to play football with me is on the show as a guest today. So the quote of the day goes as follow. First, no person is born great. Great people become great when others are sleeping. No person is born great. Great people become great when others are sleeping. Meaning, you gotta wake up early, you gotta grind. That is what real entrepreneur, that is what people that really want to succeed do. Wake up early and do your thing, man. Thank you for listening to the quote of the day. And right now, we will go ahead and head straight up to the podcast interview, All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cultural Awareness. This is Stefan. And today we have the pleasure of having a new host, Evan Harrington. By the way, for you guys that don't know Evan, we actually played in college together. How you doing, Evan?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. How are you, my brother?
I'm all right, man. Can't complain. So, a lot of people don't know that. I mean, maybe some CU people know, but a lot of people outside of like the football world don't know who you are. Do you want to go ahead and kind of tell us about, your CU days and your adventure to where you are right now?
Yeah, so I'm from Washington, D.C. I played at the University of Colorado. I played at College of the Canyons in California. Then I played at the University of Colorado, where I met my boy Steph. We played together. I was blessed to have the opportunity to go to training camp with the Chargers and play the season in Canada. high school coach up in California. Played 2 years in Europe, 1 year in Switzerland, 1 year in Germany. Was a head coach in Switzerland for 3 years. Then I came back here to America, coaching at Independence Community College, featured on Netflix Last Chance U. And then I was blessed enough to get the opportunity to be a part of the Washington football team organization last year in 2019 as assistant director of player development, and I was assistant coach last year. And right now I'm the assistant director of player engagement here.
Oh, wow. So you would say that you have had quite a journey, man. Like, congratulations, brother. So right now, being with the player development of the Washington Redskins, right? How is that going for you?
You can't say we can't say the red part. We're strictly the Washington football team,
Oh,
but
yeah. I forgot
but
about that.
yeah, but it's going great, man. I enjoy being with the guys. We're basically the coach for the players off the field. We help the rookies come into the league and teach them how to be a professional, give them guidance on what to do with their money. We have a series of 30 rookie classes that every single rookie has to go through. And we also help our veterans transition as they start to retire outside of football, because we all know football doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you get 3 years out of this thing. So you got to have a plan to what you want to do after football.
Okay. So keeping on the same thing, you say something that is very important to me, right? Transition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Transition from, football to real life. So that is one of the things I personally find like really, really hard to do, right? Because me, for example, I've been playing sports my whole life. I started with soccer back home in Africa, then came here, played basketball, volleyball, freaking football, and all that. And I was always on schedule, right? You know how it was in college, where they tell you where to be at a certain time. Even when I got with the Ravens, we were still told where to be at a certain time. So now when you come in a real life where no one is actually telling you what to do, that is very, very hard, because, we've been working like machine. So how was it for you as far as transition from like, the Charger, then Canada and finally Europe. And then when you got done with that, how did you get into that transition, to real life?
It was actually a struggle for me. Like I said, after doing the graduate assistant thing at Colorado, and then I coached high school ball, I was still out there running and lifting with my high school players, and my kids were looking at me like, "Coach, you're crazy. You're running to practice. I'm running sprints with the guys after practice, working out with them, and substitute teaching." And they're like, "Coach, man, you still can play." So luckily, I had the opportunity to keep playing, and I played 2 more years in Europe. And right after that, I transitioned into coaching. I got lucky, and I had a head coaching job at 25, where, if I wasn't coaching, I really don't know what I would have done, because transitioning from football is hard. I mean, I'm blessed where I get to still be in football, but as you said, I'm used to being told what to do, how high to jump, how hard to hit somebody, how much weight I have to lift, and it's definitely a difficult thing to do. And with our job here as player development and player engagement, that's our job. We're telling these guys, hey man, this window's short. You're one injury away. You're one play away from someone else who's younger. He's cheaper, and he might have the same talent as you do, but he's cheaper for us. So it's a business at this level, and we're getting these guys to understand it's a business. So you have to be prepared to take that next step in life. What do you like to do? And some of these guys, they really don't know what to do, because we love football. I mean, you love something, it's hard to like something, or it's hard to find another love for something when that love isn't available anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I know for a fact that, like, even now I'm still struggling with what exactly to do, just because it wasn't like a typical transition. Like, when you didn't make it to like, I don't know, like the Steve Smith of the world, like people where as soon as they done the transition right away to TV and things like that. When you didn't make it to that level, it's a lot harder, right? And it's something that I feel like we don't talk a lot. Like, yes, you play in the league, but well, for the Steve Smith, they kind of play like multiple years. They have that name and things like that. Us, when we didn't get that opportunity to have that name, it's a lot harder of the transition. So now my next question is going to be this, right? You win Charger, Canada, Europe, and everything. Now, as a member of the Washington football, what is it like for you to stand out on the side versus playing out there? It's different feeling when you're playing than when you're on the side and watching it happen. Like, what is it like for you?
It's very gratifying where I get to see guys do what I love. I get to see guys do what they love, and I get to be a small piece of their journey, whether I'm helping them on the field or off the field. So it's it's very exciting, man. I get to I go to recess. That's practice. I get a recess. I get to draw pictures all day. So I draw the whiteboard. That's whiteboard, and then I get to watch movies, and the movies are watching film.
Yeah,
So that's my life, man, and I love it. I truly love it. I don't take it for granted. I'm definitely appreciative of the opportunity Malcolm Blacken has given me. Him and Bruce Allen, our former president. You know, of course, Coach Black was our strength coach at Colorado,
yeah.
and
That is a hookup right there, man. Is this
you
still
know,
doing bench press?
man, that he's still strong, man. He gets up, he works out at 5 a.m. every morning, so I try to keep up with him. I'm getting up, working out, you know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah,
it's very, very satisfying to be able to be a small part of these guys' journey because I don't think people understand, when you graduate from college, like we were saying, the transition part, even transitioning into the NFL is tough because now it's, practice, meetings, and then you get to go home and
yeah,
you have to stay away from certain things. College campuses kind of protected us when we were in college. Now, you're a grown man with a lot of money. You're in this world. People are coming at you talking about investments and things like that. And of course, you want to try to set yourself up after football, but you got to make sure you set it up the right way and make
yeah.
sure you don't get taken advantage of. And that's our job here with the player engagement.
Yeah, like that is definitely true. And speaking of investment, because cultural awareness is not just about like, culture. It's also about trying to educate our young brothers and sisters on, making smart decisions, and
Mm-hmm.
as far as investment or just real life and like, I don't know, how will you say it, like motivation on why do you have to wake up in the morning and do certain things, right? So speaking of investment, have you ever made an investment as far as money wise that didn't work out?
Yeah, yeah, man. When the cryptocurrency started to hit, man, I started, trying to do this and that, but it didn't work out, and I'm the first one to tell you, do your research, find somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't try to do it yourself, and be diligent in what you're doing. So yeah, I definitely made investment that did not work out. But again, that's part of the growing process of being adult. You have to sometimes take those chances, and have to see what's out there. But just
Yeah.
gotta make sure you do your due diligence.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I don't remember if it's Steve Jobs that said it. He said something along the line of, if you want to do something really good and be great at it, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you because they understand it better. Like he was a visionary, but
Mm-hmm.
he had people that were smarter than him doing the actual job. So that is one thing that I like to live by. So now, success. Will you say that you achieve or are you still grinding? Are you still looking for that next level of success? Or will you say that you are happy where you are? I already know the answer, but I just want people to hear it?
I'm definitely far from successful. Far, far, far from successful. I'm still grinding every day, trying to be better, trying to get 1% better. If I get at least 1% better every day, I'm going the right direction. I'm growing, shrinking my circle, and just putting guys around me, like you say, who are smarter than me, who know the game. I call them my OGs. I surround myself around OGs. I mean, it's
Yep.
rare that I have someone, who's around my same age, unless they're former guys who I played with, like you, who I went to war with, and I know they know the grind. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, like if you're my age and I didn't play ball with you or I didn't grow with you, I don't know what you can help me do, or you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
nothing against that. And that's not to say no one can help me. I just prefer to learn from guys who've been in the game. You know what I mean? And make those failures, because life is all about that next generation. Making sure those people behind you don't make the same mistakes you made so they can be better than you.
Okay, I definitely feel you on that. So will you also say this? Because to me, I'm definitely, yes, some things happen with, my previous team. I don't like to get into controversy and things like that. But, there's one thing that I love about football. People always look at football as money. I look at football as teaching you about life. You remember
Mm-hmm.
how we went to those practice, and they are those days that you really don't want to practice. Remember? Especially we still had two a day, like really two a day where, we really hit each other in the
Mm-hmm.
morning and in the afternoon. Embry wasn't playing with that. So will you say, like, when you look at football right now, right, will you say that football teach you more about life? Like when you get hit hard, you fall down, you have to get right back up and go at it again. Like, how do you see that? Like, because that's what I see. I don't just see money, I also see the lesson that football actually teaches us. Like, what do you think?
Definitely. That's a key thing that we do. I do some summer camps in Europe, and we have a thing called our life skill courses. And our life skill courses are teaching the kids how to take those lessons that they learn on off the field and apply them to everyday life.
Yeah.
I love to tell people, and I have no shame in saying that I was by far not the best athlete at all, but I worked my butt, I worked my tail off, man, to make sure, you won't outwork me. My hard work will beat your talent any time of the day. And I pride myself on that. I was a shorter guy. I knew I had to be bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter. So I take that stuff and that grind on the field, that grind in the weight room. I take
Yeah.
it and I grind in player engagement. I make sure these guys have everything they need to have to be successful off the field. So that grind and things that you learn in football, man, you definitely have to. They will translate to everyday life.
To everyday life. Like, for example, like for me, it's like, yes, in football, take the hitting part out of it. Football, we were used to waking up very early, right? You wake up early around like 5, I don't know, 5 a.m. And then so if you apply that to your real life, I feel like, if you know that you would do certain things at certain hours and everything like that, you will become successful. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, the early bird gets the worm. That's
Exactly.
that's just what it is. I wake up every day at 5 o'clock, man. I work out at 5:30, and
Exactly.
I get my day going.
Yeah, exactly.
I pride myself in trying to be the first one in, the last one out. And why do you do that? So you won't miss anything. There's never opportunity where they say, "Hey, man, you missed that." No, I didn't. I was right here for it. So that being on time, that being scheduled and being detailed. Coach B enemy always say, "Detail your work, detail
Yep.
your work, detail your work." And we detail our work off the field. Hey, you daggone right, my life is detailed. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, great people are good at doing the small thing right.
Hmm.
Yeah, so now let's transition a little bit to Europe, man. How was it being different than in a different culture than America? Let's get into culture a little bit. Like, was that was that a shock for you? What country were you in again?
My first country I was in was Switzerland. For
Switzerland. So
the
I'm
longest time.
imagining they are speaking French.
Yeah, in the western part of Switzerland, they speak French. In
Yeah.
the southern part of Switzerland, they speak Italian. In the
Okay.
mountains, they speak Romanish, and then in the middle and the northern part, they speak German.
So
So
you had to learn
Switzerland,
all that.
no, definitely not. I learned German. I can speak German, man, but I didn't live on the western part where I didn't have to learn French. Unfortunately, that's one thing I wish I did do. I learned French a little bit more, but I can
Yeah.
speak German. I'm almost. I can say I'm fluent in German. I can understand, hold a conversation.
Oh,
Like I'm
wow.
good, but it was a shock, man. When you have a backpack on in Europe and you have your socks high and you have on black socks, people know you ain't from around here. You know what I mean? And we wear our tank top on the train, and we're a little bit bigger than everyone else. They're like, man, what are you doing here? Like, what do you do? They're like, oh yeah, we're here to play football. Football is not that big, and in
Yeah.
Switzerland, I stick out like a sore thumb in Switzerland. So it's like a fly in a bowl of milk. So
Oh, wow.
they it was different. It was very, very interesting.
And like, how was the food? Because I'm imagining like they were not cooking the filet mignon over there. Or if they were cooking, it's not the same way like in America.
Yeah, man, the food is much healthier. You got to go to the market every day. The grocery stores are smaller, fresher food. I would say it's it was awesome. I think I got healthier. I got leaner. Food's definitely lighter than here in America.
Yeah. So like were people, the player, were they any big like us over here in the US where, we really beef you up, so you ready? Like are they like that also?
The players, it's interesting there because most of the players they work during the day and then they play football at night.
Oh wow.
So like my first year in Switzerland, we had a guy who was a surgeon on our team,
Oh
and like
wow.
our playoff game, he had a surgical procedure. He said, I can't play because I have surgery tomorrow. If I hurt my hand, I won't be able to do surgery.
Yeah.
So it's very, very different. You're talking about loving football to work your 9 to 5 like a regular 9 to 5. You're
Yep.
a police officer, nurse, bricklayer, whatever, and then go play football at night, man. You love it. You
Man.
have
So
to.
how will you be able to schedule practice around that schedule though? Is it only on weekends?
No, I mean we practice at night, man.
Oh
Practice
wow.
starts at 7 p.m. Go until about 9 o'clock. Guys get home maybe 10:30, and you go to your regular job the next morning.
Oh wow. So was football the like side hustle?
For those guys, they actually pay to play in Switzerland, so they
What?
pay a fee. Yeah, they pay a fee to play.
So for
The
them it's
only
something
paid
fun.
guys. Yeah,
It's like
it's
us
like a
paying to go
hobby.
to the gym.
Exactly. It's like if you were part of pickup league, basketball league, or something out here.
Wow.
So the only paid guys were Americans and then some European players.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, that is definitely different. That is for sure. I didn't know that. Like, I get to learn
Mhm.
something new today.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people also don't know that you are one of the founder, or probably the founder of Europe Elite. Can you tell
Mhm.
us a little bit on how these American kids, get done with NFL, Canadian League, then get to Europe as a player and end up founding something? You're a founder of. So that means you own it.
I own it. So
And we will get back to it later on, but tell us a little bit first on, how you came up with that idea. And now I see it everywhere on IG, Facebook. So how did you come up with the idea?
I mean, I think I've always had a thing for coaching. After my first year and second year in Europe, I would always coach the little guys, like the U19 and U16 team. And we had an idea to help kind of these guys go play in America. So after we founded it, the guy I founded it with, we found one kid and we took him over here to America, and I drove him to a few colleges, and he ended up getting a scholarship from Towson University. And from there, it just grew and grew and grew. And we are the largest media platform for American football in Europe
Yeah.
for the youth. And our main focus is highlighting these kids for all their hard work they do. If they sign with a university, or we run events as well. Have the largest summer camp outside the states, outside the U.S., where we get kids from all over the world to come to our camp and participate in a week event to play football with
Hey, you gotta
NFL
invite
coaches,
me to one of
NFL
those
players.
camps, man.
Yeah, man, you got to come out. I tried to get you out, but I know you guys are getting
Yeah,
busy.
that year I was still with the Ravens. I couldn't move,
Yeah,
man. We were on
yeah.
lockdown, you know.
Uh-huh. So yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Just giving back and showing these guys, hey, if you really want to play football, this is what it's really like for a week. Because most of those guys they only practice 2, maybe 3 times a week.
Oh wow,
So they really don't know the
the real
grind
grind.
yet. And we try to help them understand, hey, this is what it's like. If you want to go to America, come experience our camp and you can really see what's a week like in America to play football.
Wow, that is definitely. So, will you say like it's giving you some bread? You know, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not yet, not yet, but you know, we're working and we're striving towards it. I'll say it's giving me more satisfaction than
Then
the
bread
bread
at
right
this point.
now. But we actually just partnered with the league and we got a grant from the league to do some things for some kids. So it's moving in the right direction, man, and we're just happy to help these young men and
That
women
that is
too.
that is.
And women too, because football for women over there is huge.
Oh wow, woman.
Women. So we had this young lady, her name's Sophia Johansson. She's the first European woman to play college football. Her first game was last week.
How did she do?
I haven't talked to her. I plan to reach out to her this week, so we'll see. But we're very excited about that.
That is very very interesting. So, hey, maybe one day we will have like a you know, just like we have NFL for men, we might also have NFL for women, and that will take over the world. You never know, man.
You never know.
There's some
Opportunity.
women that are really into that football thing. You know, I've seen
Mm-hmm.
some that really would love to have that type of opportunity. That being said, put a little bit that Europe elite on the side, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about ownership because every time I do something, I try to make sure I own it because you never know. Like in the future, if it's going to provide you some bread, you want to be the majority owner. Like I'm not saying that you shouldn't have anybody helping you or like, you know, share the business with somebody. But I found that in America, the quickest way to be wealthy is to be an owner. When you're renting or when you work for somebody, yes, you can work for somebody for a little time, but your ultimate goal should be an owner, homeowner, business owner, you know, entrepreneur, some things like that to be successful. So what is your take on that, like on ownership?
My take on ownership is I've been through one business partner already. It didn't work out, but that's because you kind of get into things where because you're friends, we can be business owners. No, that's not the case. Get things on paper because it's the quickest way to end a friendship or end a business relationship without having things on paper
Yeah,
prior. You know, so I think that's a huge thing when you want to go into being a owner or something. Make sure people's roles are set in place, and have it on paper because when it's on paper, it's like, look, there it is, it's on paper. You know, this
yeah,
is what we both agreed to before we went into this thing. And I think
exactly.
that's the biggest thing because some people, you know, people put a different value on their work. You
Yeah,
know, that's the thing. It's like everyone values their time differently. Everyone values their investment differently. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you both have to have a understanding of what's your value, what's my worth, what am I bringing to the table, and at the end of the day, who's going to get what.
exactly. So, speaking of, you know, yeah, you know, I don't know if you know this. If you check on my Instagram, you will see something called rec ball. Rec ball is like a mini, it's like a vendor machine. You know how we used to have those thing for movie. I forget how you call that thing where you go like and put money and grab a CD like renting movie. I forgot how you call it.
Oh, the red box.
Yeah, like the red box. So we created
Mhm.
what we call rec ball, right? With rec ball, that
Mhm.
allow we put it at park, and that allow you to, like, if you're a member or if you just have credit card or anything like that, you can open it, use the ball for like how many hours you want, and then when you're
Mhm.
done, put the ball back in and move on. Like, so you don't have to buy the ball to go to the to go to the park. So
Mhm.
when me and my friend started it, man, excuse me. So when me and my friend we started it, we had to put everything on paper. We are friends since we were back home in Cameroon, and we
Mhm.
started it in Los Angeles. Like, we brought in a lawyer and everything, and we put everything on paper. We know this person owned this amount, this person owned this amount, this is how much was invested. So I'm telling people, it's not just because you guys are friends doesn't mean you will just go by word and be like, oh, that is my friend, because money will make your friends turn against you. So you have to
100%.
have some type of, you know, I don't know, insurance. This is where the paperwork come into insurance, that in case things don't go the right way, we put something on paper and this is signed by lawyers and things like that. So that would be like my recommendation on ownership. So uh that it's life, right? People will change, people will turn against you. So now, have you ever been to Africa?
I have been to Israel.
Israel, that is not Africa.
Mhm.
That is
Israel is actually,
no, I don't think
yeah.
Israel is in Africa. Israel is in the Middle East.
No, Middle East is not a continent.
That is true. Middle East, it's a part of the world. It's not a continent, right? But I don't think
Middle East is how they try to separate themselves from Africa, but
from
it's really
Africa.
Africa.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
really
We
Africa.
we we call them Wine or yeah, Middle East. So they are a little bit different
Mhm.
because I believe we are separated by the Mediterranean Sea, right?
Mhm.
That's separate out like that side of Africa from Israel and things like that. So the reason why I ask is I know that you are big on helping people, right? You are big
Yep.
on helping
Mhm.
people and having how do you call it, like not orphanage, because that is my goal, right? My goal is to one day
Mhm.
have an orphanage back home. And we talked a couple of weeks ago where you said you would love to come and also help people in Africa, and I will just giving you the opportunity to talk a little bit about your philanthropist side, because yes, you are director of player development, but let's talk a little bit on how you help people in Europe and how you could also help Africans, because I know I'm not a monster. We have some monsters over there, right? That are just
Yeah.
ready to unleash, their wild side, if you get what I mean, so
Yeah.
maybe have a camp in Cameroon or in Nigeria, Ghana, something like that, that will, push this elite thing not to just be in Europe, but to become more than a movement. You know what I mean? Like something where in Africa you have recruit, in Europe you have recruit. So, what is your idea?
So the NFL has an international program with
Hello? Hello?
okay. Can you
Yeah,
hear me now?
yeah, you can. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, what I was saying is I was planning on going to Ghana this summer, but of course, due to COVID, I wasn't able to go and run an event there with their football federation they have there in Ghana and Nigeria, because we know there are ballers out there.
Big
It's just
time.
how do we give them the opportunity? We have to go there, get the film, and share the film with the world. Because
Exactly.
they can run, they can jump. I mean, that melanin is special. So,
Man,
it's just about giving them the opportunity, and they deserve it, man. Africa will be the future, I believe, and it's all about us getting there and helping them out, because us as African Americans, us as Cameroonians, us as people, it's our job to go there and help those guys. That's
yeah,
our responsibility if
I
you
def-
if you're able to do so.
Yeah, definitely. I think I already know some people where, in case you ever there, let me show you Cameroon. That is what I need to say. Just let me show you Cameroon. We got some
Hey.
monster over there, and also Ivory Coast. Because I remember I had a couple of friends like Eric Kwaku that is doing something in Ivory Coast where he started his own league and things like that, and he's training
Mm-hmm.
kids. And he reached out to me because they don't have equipment.
Yep.
Like they don't have equipment to really show the kid how real American football is played. And that, I believe, is one of the biggest thing, right? If I don't know how you would do it, I'm not asking you to do magic, but if with the NFL partnership, they could kind of help those people, to take it like the 360 where they play with keys and things like that, but just with equipment. So that will help out a lot so that people can kind of learn more about American football. NBA is doing it. Why not football, right? Take
Exactly.
football to that
And,
next level.
and we have teams have things to do. Like we have a bunch of balls from our organization where they said they would donate to African League, but it's just about how we're getting there, how we're transporting it there. And I think that's the biggest thing is just finding people who are willing to help and where does it go to, and not only just giving it to them, but showing them how to do things.
To
The
do things.
beautiful thing I say about this COVID thing is right now what we're doing, anybody can do it now in the world.
Exactly.
That is the beautiful thing. So I don't want to hear no excuse from anybody saying why they can't do something. Zoom, you can see the person and instruct the guys how to do it. So
And instruct them.
that's what we
Yeah,
need to do. And maybe it starts with us, bro. Maybe it starts with us just doing something weekly, talking football with the guys.
exactly.
It don't matter.
Exactly.
Like
We
something little
could do
like
that.
that.
We could do that, man. Opportunity. Seize your opportunity, man. That is how it works. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down with, helping other just because I was helped, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know the true story on how I got in the US, right? They just know that I
Mm-hmm.
came here. But the truth is, it was a university in California, you know, through
Mm-hmm.
UCLA program that came in Cameroon, did basketball camp, and a lot of things happened, and then I ended up here. So there are some very nice people out there that can really do good things to help. It's just a matter of finding who those people are and everything. And by the way, the quickest way to send equipment to Africa is actually by ship, by water, where you put it in a container and you ship it back there. But we can talk about that, another time. So first, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to interview you because I know that you have a lot going on and you are in the football season right now. By the way, how are you guys doing?
We lost this weekend, but we're trying. We're gonna get back on track Sunday. So
Okay,
we're
hey, that is the mentality, man. That is the mentality. I always try to get back on track. But yeah, again, thank you for the opportunity and everything, and I hope that everything with Washington football works well for you, and then you can go beyond that. So if you got my number, you can always reach out in case you trying to really go to Africa. Maybe go there first for fun, just to
yeah.
learn about the culture, because
Mm-hmm.
uh culture is going to be different than what you experience here, and you're going to be a lot more grateful and thankful for being in the US.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that it's all broke. That just means that they are part of population where you see that they don't have access to certain things that
Mm-hmm.
here we have access easily, like drinkable water, right?
Mm-hmm.
In
Exactly.
some area, like people literally don't have that. So
Mm-hmm.
they have to take those water that is like literally yellow and boil it to kill all the germ in it and drink it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
would definitely be a humbling moment. That doesn't mean all
Mm-hmm.
Africa's like that because there's a misconception out there, man. But
Very big misconception, and
there's
we can go on
misconception
that
cause
another day, man. We can talk to that another day. I'm
another day.
down to do this. Where I'm down to do this. I love it, man. We should start a podcast or
What do you think this is for? What do you think the
something.
interview is for? Let me
Yeah.
stop the recording first. So thank you again for, coming to the show and talking with me and giving me the opportunity.
No doubt.